Hi, you're listening to the Value Cafe podcast. I'm your host, Esther Opone, aka The Value Adder. Here, I hold laid-back conversations with friends across a variety of topics as we share lessons from our personal life journeys with the ultimate aim to connect, learn, and gain value while we have fun. So, if you are in for an authentic and valuable experience, relax and enjoy the show. Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining me again this week. So today I have a return guest. You might remember her as the Grow and Glow advocate from some episodes ago. And so this time around I invited her again to come talk to us and to me especially about the pod life, being a creative, being a podcaster and all of those things. So Gracie, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you, so excited to be here.
And how are you doing?
I'm okay, I'm fine, life is going well.
Well, good. How's school? How is it going over at the Grow and Glow podcast?
Very well. We're growing, we're glowing.
Yeah, and well done. I'm seeing what you're doing on the shows, and yeah, we want to be like you when we grow up.
You've grown already, Joe.
Okay. But what was that thing we said last time that it's like you never really stop growing? So
yeah, it's true.
I reserve the right. See,
okay.
When you grow up, it can be used against you.
Yeah, I see.
Yes. All right. So let's just jump in and have fun. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to ask first, like, what is it like for you, like being a creative, right? And I know the word is thrown around a lot. I'm a creative, I'm this content creator and all of that. But for you personally, what is it like? What's a typical day like for you? Like, do you wake up every morning thinking like a creative, or it's just something you just do and you realize you are doing creative things?
Okay, I think for me, before I never knew I was kind of part of those people they call creatives. So let me tell you the truth. I just saw myself as a podcaster doing my thing, and until I realized that every day I'm still creating content and I'm still doing what creatives do. So I'm part of them. I said, okay, that's nice. So as a creative, being a creative, I think it's something that is part of me right now. Like, I don't know, sometimes when I just lie down or I'm writing something, ideas just fly all around and I just pick them up. So I think it's something that is just part of me right now, being creative with ideas, with content and stuff like that. So yeah.
So it's like you've owned that identity.
Yes.
It's not like you are switching like from the normal person. Well, there's no abnormal person in that sense, but like regular Gracie to the creative Gracie. You are always the creative Gracie.
Yeah, I think Gracie has always been the creative one. So what about you? What did being a creative? What is it like?
Well, for me, it's how do I put it? Like, I think I've still not gotten to that point of, maybe I've not owned it. Like, I don't go about my day thinking, oh, I'm a creative. But then, of course, I know I do creative things, right?
Okay.
So, in that sense, but of course, there's a general school of thought that everybody, one way or the other, is a creative. They'll tell you that.
True.
Even for me, okay, so I'm a medical lab scientist, so they'll tell you that even as a scientist, you are a creative. As an artist, you are a creative, because one way or the other, you're creating something. You are picking up ideas. You are bringing things together. So it's something that I don't consciously think of, but I'm just being it in that sense. So, so well, as regards labels, yeah. So I'm learning to identify to identify more with things these days.
I was once like that.
Yeah. But then, okay, so in the big world of creativity and platforms and all, what's the unique appeal of podcasting for you? Like, why not YouTube? Why not writing, like blogging? Why podcasts?
Why podcast? I think this is first time. Okay, no, this is my first time. But I think this first time I think I have to explain this very well. Why podcast? Well, let me see. Why podcast and not YouTube? I don't know. I just wanted to speak. So I did not think about showing my face. All I wanted was just a platform to speak. So my voice should be heard. Not maybe my face and my voice. I don't really think of that aspect. But that's about wanting my voice to be heard. So I looked for a platform that I can use. No need of recording my face and stuff. All I need to do is to record my voice speaking and saying something, and I send it out. That was all I wanted, and I got it. But I did not even know what a podcast was. Let me tell you the truth. I just went online checking for what I can. Sometimes I browse. I browse so randomly. The way I want to type what I want to browse.
Yes, I do that too. Just surfing the net, and then you just stumble on one thing, and then you are lost.
Yes. So I just browsed something like that on something voice recording app, all these things. Necessarily seeing the word podcast, and I searched on it and started something. That's all.
I think podcasts for me, I would say that something that is in between. So I used to write consistently on my blog, like that was around 2017, 18, and all of that. And yeah, I took a break and I never resumed. But of course, I was still creating content like on other platforms, like on my Instagram page, like maybe some copywriting gigs are done with some firms and like one way or the other. I didn't leave the content creation space, but when my blog I was just not putting stuff out there. Funny enough, I still have lots of drafts, but they're shut there in the cooler. But then YouTube just had that, and then at a point everybody was doing, especially during Corona period, God, like when it first started and everybody was on lockdown, it was like everybody's stuff just got unleashed. Some people were doing it. Hi guys, hi guys now. That's
yes
YouTube.
Now.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, I was like, but the old stress. I just wanted to be like, okay, the podcast, like, just it seems to have that package of people. It's something you can do. You can listen to a podcast on the go while you are doing chores around the house, moving around. So maybe in terms of audience engagement, yes. As opposed to you have to be engaged with your eyes and read and all of those things. Of course, I still love reading. No, it's not like, but I'm just making excuses for some people who prefer to consume resources in a different format. And also YouTube, you have to be worried about lighting,
background,
you yourself, your makeup, your look,
your look. Yeah.
Meanwhile, podcasting, I can just wear my satin bonnet and sitting in front of my.
You don't need to ask what I'm wearing right now.
Sitting in front of my, like right now, I'm recording in my wardrobe, and I'm comfortable. Abby. So yes, I think it just gives me that perfect balance of, and of course I don't want to get too worried about appearances and looking good for the camera and like doing my body one way or like making sure you get. So I think podcast, that's the appeal for me, and I get to put my ideas out there and in a way that it communicates well without, well, it's not me being lazy, but when you're writing texts and like words, there's a lot of work that goes into making sure that what is in your head is what is being communicated in text. But with voice, in a way, you are still able to pass that message in like Yeah, continue.
You just like reminded me about when I started. Like that thing came to my head. I think I just remember like why podcast. Apart from that reason, there are other reasons that I could not remember. I think why podcast was at first I did not really want anybody to know me. I just wanted to do my thing because I knew I was going to break tables. Not just when you shake tables, don't just shake. I'm going to break tables. So I know that I had trouble. So I did not want anybody to know me. Then at the same time, this how I put it, they say something about comfortability or something like that. I was still starting out, so I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. All I wanted to use is my voice. So I said, okay, this using a voice platform will be better, recording and stuff like that. But I think that aspect of not know, like nobody should know me. I don't want anybody to know me, not my family, not my friends. They should not know what I'm doing. But well, I don't know what even made me change my mind. I just did it normally.
I think it's something that can just grow on you. And funny enough, it was like the very last episode of my season 1 that I used my picture on the flyer for the first time.
Are you serious? Wow.
Usually my friend, I have a friend that is always like, Esther, will you die if you put your picture on the but it's usually all these flyers is the host and the guest. But me, it's always the guest. But me, I would just joke that, I don't want people to be too distracted by my beauty.
Okay.
That they should focus on the content, so and all of that. But I think there's something that and I mean, especially when you're just starting out and you're not worried about being seen and the presentation, I think it can just it can help to ease you in at first, and then over time you grow more confident, and then you are out there putting out your
content,
yourself and all of those things.
Yeah.
Again. But then that your first episode that you referenced, how was it like? Was it clumsy or perfect? Like, what did you record? What did you even talk about? And like, when you wanted to like hit the publish button, like you are done with your editing and your description, like how was it? Was it like, were you very excited or were you scared? Like, did you share with your friends or your family and all of those things? Just gist me a bit about it.
Okay, I can remember it was in the afternoon. I went to the guest room in my house. That day I said, I must record. So I went to the guest room in my house because I like being private. So most I don't want anybody to know and stuff like that. I just went to the guest room to hide and do my recording. It didn't work like that because my mom came to the dining room, which is close to the guest room. But well, that day I went there to record. And I recorded more than 6 times the same episode. I wanted it to sound okay. Not really perfect. Okay, let me just say perfect. Yes. I wanted it to be fine. The sound quality. They say podcast now. Sound quality is very important. Then I was making little mistakes. I had to stop that, start again. So by the time I finished recording up to 6 times or more, I can't remember. I think there were more than 6 times. I was already with sweat myself. I can't remember. When I did that, I think the last one I did, I said, whether it is nice or not, I am using you. So I just I just recorded that last one, and I edited it. My editing was not too much because I've done like up to 6 times. So I was not making mistake anyway again like that. So I just recorded it. I think I did it right there, and well, it was not scary to hit the publish button. Surprisingly, I was excited. I
mean, after 6 times,
like I think I got used to it. So I was excited because at last I've recorded something. Then I shared with my friends. And those people, they hyped me up, and I still appreciate them. Shout out to my friends, Jerry. So they hyped me up very well, and they shared the episode. Okay, on that episode I spoke on modesty. It is called Modesty 101. Okay. I don't know. I just knew I wanted to speak on that topic first of all, just to talk about an issue about people how to dress, not like dressing with long skirts and stuff. Most times Christians have that idea of modesty. They believe skirts must reach your knee, and below your knee, or how we have it, must reach your toe, long sleeves, all these kind of things. I that episode I said no, that's not just modesty. Modesty is also looking beautiful. Modesty is also knowing your style and rocking it and just being modest. Yes, so I spoke about modesty in the episode, shared with my friends, we hyped it up, shared it on the status, and just poof. It went wrong. I can't really remember how good it was, but I think with time the episode plays grew. So I knew that first episode was not that bad at all. And some people's own. How was yours? Like, it's true, Seth. How was your own? What did you talk about?
Okay. So because my podcast is more of like conversation style with friends and all, so I think it was quite easier for me.
Okay.
I reached out to a friend, so I ran it as a series. The first month, that was in May this year, 2021.
Wow. Okay.
So for anybody, for the sake of anybody who might be listening to this particular episode next year, so it was May 2021. I think it was May 4th, and then I reached out to my friend Kezia, and I was like, I'm starting a podcast and I want to run a series for this month on starting, quitting, and pivoting and all of those. So yeah, she was like, yeah, great, sure, blah blah blah. She'll be honored. Yeah, and then we did it. We recorded over Anchor, virtually, because she was in Lagos and in Ibadan, and we recorded. And I remember going into it, and I was like, Esther, whatever you do, you are not going to be worried about how perfect or whatever it is. You are just going to start. You are going to start bad. You are going to start however you want to start, but you are going to start and you are going to publish. So I did that. And funny enough, there were a lot of plays because of Kezia she has some influence. And of course, I told some people that I was starting a podcast. So everybody was like really amped up,
excited, yeah.
And so once it dropped, people were just sharing, and I actually saw the feedback from people that Kezia had shared with, and when you like, everybody's like, our own networks too saw and shared, my networks too saw and shared, and that's why I knew that we had so many mutual friends in this life. And so it had quite a lot of plays for a first episode. We're relatively single, but some days, like, there are times I go back and listen to my old episode and I'm like, Esther, what did you, and you said you edited this thing like this, what did you edit?
That was the beginning. Now you edited now.
So there were some of the network glitches showing through and all of the, but generally it was a beautiful thing, and it's really helped me. And I think making it a series really helps because I didn't have to think of a new topic each week. So it was the same topic, but then different people sharing their own stories.
That was a smart thing to do.
Of their life. Sure, you get, and all of those things. And so I was able to learn a lot from all of them, from their perspectives and their journeys and their stories. I wanted to focus more on their own individual stories, and like, this is not a platform for experts or anything, but all of us are like working through this process together, trying to figure out stuff, and so we're all just sharing and learning and all of that. So yeah, it's actually, I think it was a very exhilarating experience, and look at this now.
Growth.
Growth. So tell me about the struggles so far.
Struggles. Let me see. Struggles so far. I cannot list all of them because I've had some in the past, but I've forgotten those struggles I faced. But I think I can still remember like few. I think one thing I struggled with was at some point, I will still say this, at some point, not like I got tired of like producing the podcast. I just got tired. I didn't know how to do anything else. I didn't know how to record with my guests. Okay, at first I started it's just I just do solo episodes most times at the beginning. So I never had any real guests on my podcast. I just me talking and doing my thing. Okay. So I think what happened from the first struggle I had, everything was fine. Everything was fine at the beginning. With me alone, doing my thing, getting my cool plays on a low level. Then when I kind of started thinking about some things was when I joined Instagram. Like when I put the podcast on Instagram, when I made it public. Before I was just doing my podcast and only my WhatsApp friends were the listeners, no one else. So when I took it on Instagram, I know Instagram now. Instagram will show you other people too who owns podcasts, their podcasts and stuff. I saw it and I was blown away. Why? Because I was just doing mine personally, learning by myself and just maybe browsing some things I don't understand. Nobody was teaching me. I learned everything on my own. So the little I knew was what I was using to do some things and to grow. But going on Instagram, I saw the way other people were doing theirs and it was so different and so nice and so cool. I was like, God, can I do this too? I was not kind of comparing my podcast. Yes, I did that. So I started comparing the podcast like, oh, this podcast, I need to change some things. Oh, it's boring. Oh, no. Solo episodes are not cool and stuff like that. So that was what I struggled with. I call it, what can we call this now?
Comparison and all that.
Yeah, in podcasting. Very funny, right? So I struggled with that at the beginning. Then I also struggled with the fact of my phone. Then we started using phone now. We just were using phone to record. And my phone was this old kind of techno kind of phone that the battery will not last at all. So when I record with it, maybe the phone will not go off or something. I just had issues with the phone, issues with Instagram, issues with sometimes with when to record because I was at home. We're like lockdown. Yes, that was lockdown period. So I was at home and my environment, people they own goats, they own chickens, they own cows. I live in the north. So most times they let them go free. So like during the day, they're everywhere. You can hear their sounds. So I could not record anytime in the afternoon because as I'm recording towards the end, the chicken would just say something.
Oh God, I remember.
Very annoying. So I could not record around that time, and the time I was record will be at night, and everybody will want to sleep. And that will maybe want me to maybe I'll start whispering or something, which is not nice at all because people will notice now. So that was very, very annoying. I suppose I just stopped. I did not do anything again. I left it. So I just stopped recording at that time. I think I changed location. I started going to a school to record, but it was not that nice because chickens were still everywhere. And goats and people
surprisingly loud and the recording now
it always picks it. So I had that struggle at the beginning and stuff like that, but I overcame everything by God's grace. Like I don't think I have that struggle anymore. Who the chicken wants to say anything? And someone told me that when the chicken makes noise, just put it part of your podcast and tell people, your listeners, that I'm sorry, the chicken just said something and it's you can hear it, but I can't do anything about it. You grab that kind of situation. So that is what happened.
I think it even makes it more relatable because people feel like, yes, like she also has everyday struggles like the rest of us. But that chicken thing, my neighbor too has, and the next piece, the longest, it might not make a sound, pim, throughout the day. But when Auntie wants to record, Even on weekends in the afternoon. Maybe it's in the morning they used to crow and or shout and then.
You have to they
But
do
no.
too.
Voila.
Like
Yeah, but of course it can't be all that bad. So what are the perks of like the pod life for you?
Omo. Plenty.
Tell us.
Okay, I think the first thing I would say is friendship. I met a lot of people that are good friends. I've met you right now through podcasting. You're my friend.
I'm blushing.
So I met a lot of people through podcasting, and not just even in Nigeria. That is a surprising thing because I never expected it. But I have friends all over through podcasting. I think through podcasting too, I've learned some things about is it audio production, I'll call it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I can produce some audio stuff and all this voiceover. I can do something like that. So I learned that is the benefits for me. Then how will I put this now? I don't know how to put this, but I will still put it. It might sound somehow, but I'll still put it because I feel it's still a benefit. Not really a benefit, but it's something that I've gotten from this. That is respect. I think I'll put it that way. No, let me just put it that way, respect, because surprisingly, I'm not really doing, for me, I will say I'm not really doing so much. But would I'm still doing so much, huh? But we need to be humble. So, I don't know, but you kind of gain respect from this because people listen, people know what's up. People say, oh, Gracie, well done, Gracie this, Gracie that. And I'm like, it's fine, we're all in this together. It's for you too, it's for me. Grow and Glow podcast is you are Grow and Glow podcast. So I think those are the benefits. Networking, friendships, audio production tips, learning stuff, and also when you browse on some topics you want to talk about, oh god, you learn a lot of things.
That's it. You
learn a lot of things, and I like reading some things online. So YouTube, Google, some of my friends just come to me and we'll start gisting, and that's on to podcast episode. So yeah, those are kind of the benefits. What about you? Tell me something now.
So I think it's pretty much close to yours.
Okay.
Especially the learning part. And you know, there are some things that if you never started, you would not, you never even, it was not even on your radar. So what I know now as regards editing, as regards software and like equipment and all is not what I knew when I started shaking. So I'm learning more about, learning all the things about 41,000 hertz, stereo versus mono recording.
I've not learned that one yet though.
No, it's all this recording.
All those things,
even us getting to record virtually via the platform we are recording with, you know, it was because I reached out to you and then you suggested this, and I'm like, wow, this is even better than the one I usually use before, which gives me a lot of views. So, and of course the topics, learning and all of those things. So it's and then personally for me, a major win for me is I've said it once or twice in my previous episode, especially when I was running up in my season 1, is I'm learning to trust myself more from doing this. Trusting myself in the sense that when I was starting, I was scared that I was not going to be consistent. But because I wanted to be that kind of person, I wanted to be that lady who is consistent, who is committed, who can stick through things. And so that is like a personal challenge to me. And like I'm making it work. It's not easy. There are times like we are practically recording in the midnight. There are times when I'm editing late into the night. There are times when I have to catch a flight or I have to travel. Especially when I went to NYSC camp or more. But it was difficult. You have to deal with network issues. But I have that struggles. My battery will get run down, and I come out of it and I publish the episode, and I'm like smiling, like I'm tired, but I'm smiling like
you're trying.
Sure, you get. So
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing, and of course, again, community from Instagram. I've really seen communities that are helpful. I get to learn tips and tricks. I get to meet people, and I get to I got to meet you. So, sure, you get. So,
Yes.
so those are some of the personal benefits I've gained from it, and maybe one day we get to monetize it, and all of those things.
Yes, you can monetize the podcast though.
Yes, I mean,
Through
like, look at you
Podroom.
now. You're a businesswoman.
I beg you. There are ways to do that though.
Are you not the one just selling? Yeah, you guys really check out the merchandise. So, like,
Yes,
really
yes.
Cool
t-shirts.
20 strike.
Yeah, glowing in my 20s, exploring my 20s, a blessed 20-something. Just check it out. The link is in my bio on Instagram.
Okay,
at
Grow. As the Valley Cafe podcast. Can you imagine? At
Grow and Glow _podcast.
It is where wahala for who don't cram am.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, but then so are you team when it comes to your recording and everything? Are you team like having a script, or are you team freestyling?
It matters on the episode.
Okay.
Like, sometimes we take our listeners very seriously. I think there was a time I had to report myself to my listeners. I did that. I freestyled it because what am I going to start writing down to start? I just said what was on my mind and explained everything. But mainly, I write my script. Not like I say word to word. Nope. I just have my bullet points. So I don't go off. Neither do I go on at the wrong time. So I also script my podcast episode. And sometimes I still freestyle, but it's more of the team scripting. What about you?
I'm learning to do that more.
Okay.
Usually, like, because I usually have guests and.
All right, yeah.
So I sort of have an idea of what, and I usually just let the conversation flow. So I ask you a question, it flows from there, and I get to ask follow up, and by the time we are done talking, it's already very long, and I'm like, hey God, change it. But then I've also learned to like scripts. Like you said, I don't want it to sound like forced or rehearsed or overly rehearsed and all that. So I just write out like phrases, bullet points. So I know okay, once I'm done with this point, this is where I'm going next. Or maybe if on the day that spontaneity is not working, like the questions are just drying up or conversation is not flowing, at least I have a fallback plan. And it's always cool when I see behind the scenes of some podcast shows and you see them with their laptop.
Yeah. I think they're always with their laptop.
Scripts. So it really helps me to be on track, not to spread too much on one thing. But of course, this season I introduced the 2-in-2 episodes, and for those ones, I've just been going in and saying my mind because because basically the segment is about me just giving my 2 cents on any issue that catches my fancy. So if I overthink it, I would filter too much. Of course,
yes.
I still filter, like, of course, I'm sensitive about things and sometimes. You can't just be opening mouth and talking bam and all. But like I don't want to overthink and over filter, and then I'm not able to give the 2 cents. And all of those things. So basically, but we're ending up soon.
All right.
There's so much I want to suck out of you. Don't mind me. So what are some tips, some hacks, some improvisations that you do or you have now, or something that maybe is unconventional but that it helps? with your process, maybe during your recording or maybe your production flow and all of that.
All right. Well, I think the first thing is to know what works for you. Like at the beginning, I started with Anchor, using Anchor app to record, because that was what everybody was saying. Anchor here, Anchor there. So I started using it, but I just did not really know. When you continue this work, you learn more and you listen more to other podcasts, and you know how it sounds now, good quality and stuff like that. I did not really like the way mine sounded. It still had some setbacks and stuff like that. So I was looking for what to use to record, a good app, good software, something like anything, because I just left what everybody was using and went to look for what works for me. So that's how I searched and downloaded a lot of apps, and I checked each one of them, recorded, edited, and I checked the sound. So I feel find out what works for you. You must not use what everybody's using. Just use what you can use, and you can just you can work with it. That's another important thing. Then
what is sustainable for you right now?
Yes. Then before I did not really care about where I was recording, because I was just recording in the house, any room. But I learned a lot that you need to record in a very good space. Let me not say space. I don't say studio, because that's not the studio with the record. But we turned the area into a studio for us, whereby we don't stay in an empty hall, inside the bathroom, inside an empty room. No, we stay maybe in a room that has enough how do I put it? There's bed, yes, there's a pillow. It must not even be bed, there must maybe chairs, books. It's filled up in a way so that the sound quality turns out well. Then
I think that's part of why I'm recording in the wardrobe, because
for sure
the clothes we absorb
a lot,
the echoes and all of that.
Yeah. Then I think drinking water while recording is very important, because sometimes your voice might start to break. You know that when you want to you want to clear your throat, sometimes it's not really so nice. So just drinking water while recording is very helpful. Then let me see, being comfortable as you're recording should be a norm for you. How should I put this? Some people think a lot about, what are people going to say about this episode? It's the next thing that they forget. Sometimes you just need to forget what they will say and pass out the message for the people that will still listen to it. So just forget. Sometimes you just need to be comfortable with what you're recording, with how you're recording, and be comfortable with your voice. I don't know if you had that experience of not liking your voice.
I always sounds like a baby, like a small girl.
Are you serious?
In my own ears,
that is the thing.
I love your voice.
Exactly. So we kind of all pass through that stage of, I don't like listening to this thing. Sometimes I will not want to edit, so I will not listen to my voice again. So I make sure I made no mistake. So I'll just post it like that. So that I think those are kind of a few things I can remember right now. If I remember anyone later, I'll let you know. In fact, tell me some of yours now. Let me take some home.
Okay. I was even going to ask you, what do you use to record now? What platform now? If you said you left Anchor, because I'm still an Anchor baby. Oh my God, that's
Okay. Well, I think it's called Doubly On.
Yeah.
Is it Doubly? How do you pronounce it? Is it Doubly? Doubly On.
Yeah.
Doubly. Yes, that's what I use right now.
So I just stumbled on it myself.
It's very great.
Yeah, I used it to record my new intro and outro, and my last episode No, my first episode, that was my welcome back episode to season 2. And
Okay.
people were like, the sound quality is really
It's
different.
changed. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
and I was like, yes, let's keep doing this. But I've not figured out a way to do it with like virtual interviews, like
That is the case.
person. Though I think they have a video option, so maybe one can do the live stream.
I don't really understand how the live stream works, but for now I don't know if we can record with other people. That's why I just use for my solo episodes.
Yeah,
but that's what I use basically.
And then one other thing I do is I don't like from day one I never liked editing in Anchor. It was very clumsy.
Stress. Yes, it is.
So I used I till now I still use Audio Lab. It's like free, offline, all of that. So I use it to merge. So there are times when I have network glitches, so I just merge all the different recordings together that were cut off, and where I continued from, merge them together, and then I trim in Audio Lab. And so I'm consciously like looking at new and better ways. I tried Audiophonic to clean up the sound, but I think I still prefer the Dolby's
yes, it cleans it very well. I think I just use that to clear like the sound. Then if I tell you what I use to edit my podcast, you're opening everything now in public.
For people that are upcoming.
No, like, because some people might think I use maybe all these softwares. Surprisingly, I don't use them yet because my laptop is not accepting them. That's another long story. That's as God will bless us another laptop. So I use Quick Song Editor to edit my podcast. It's quite easy to use because sometimes I just want to cut off some parts or remove some things. So that app, I can just select the area I want to cut off, I want to remove, and delete it immediately. Continue, it joins it back. It's just so sweet and easy to use. So I just use that app on my phone. No stress. I don't like stress in this life.
That's and anything that has too much. Generally, I don't like things that have too many features, too many clumsiness. See, give me the basics. I'm
ready to go.
You can throw in some fluff and all, but once you start looking too clumsy, too complicated, too everything, life is not that hard now. So I like very clean, minimalist interfaces and all. So that's why when I saw the Audio Lab, I was like, oh, my baby, come on to me. Yeah. So what other hack? Yeah, it's also recording at night. Where most people would have slept, all the noisy gens would have gone off.
Like right now.
Network will also be clearer, except the day that village people are working overtime. So pretty much that. Then I also learned to batch record ahead, such that the days when it's not working out, or maybe my schedule is not working out, or all of that, I'm able to have a bank of content I can always pull from.
I think that's one I'm going to learn from you.
Yeah. And also when my schedule is not really well arranged or aligned, or I'm very busy and all of that, at least
you have something
take the stress off. Yes, to follow. So that's pretty much it though.
It's cool. I like that because batching makes life easier. Well, for me, I don't do that all the time. I don't even know myself. Okay, I think I just kind of came back. Like most times, sometimes I go on breaks, personal breaks, to get my energy back. So while I'm on that break, I don't record anything. I haven't tried not to think about podcasting, but this is my life. I always think about it every day. So I just do it, and I think that batch I'll try it out. I did it before, it worked well. I just stopped, but I'll start again. You've helped me. You motivated me tonight.
And I think it also helps me with like maybe being more creative with the episodes, because then I have ample time to like play around with the editing, add some elements. Like I recently started adding it because my episodes tend to be long. So I recently started adding like interludes and all of those things.
All right.
So if I have enough time, if I already have the recordings on ground, I can like at my own time clean it up, edit, add, play around, and everything like that. And with the break thing, I think for me, I found that breaking things into seasons like work.
Okay.
And then the first two, like the last one now, I took a 6-week break, and the first 1 or 2 weeks, I was not doing anything podcast. Well, not heavily, of course, that I will always do something podcast, but not. So I had like a timeline I sent to a friend of, okay, after this 1 week, I was going to use it as a mini retreat, all of those things. Then the second week, I was going to drop a list of topics and the possible guests. Then maybe the third week, I was going to start reaching out to people, start recording, all of those things. So please take that break, and under your break, make sure you actually refresh.
Yeah, and plan well.
Then you can now start planning or recording.
Yeah.
You cannot kill yourself
at all.
Yeah. So rounding up.
Okay.
If you could go back and change. Okay, I wanted to even ask. We're talking about the like we are hyping podcasting and all. What are some not so good parts? Of course, we've talked about the challenges, but like, what are some not so like the cons of like podcasting as a platform?
As a platform, well, I don't know. I don't really know, but I feel the fact of sometimes when you publish an episode and you post it on Instagram or you send it to your friends and nobody seems to be interested, it makes you feel down, like so okay, I'm not saying anything reasonable in this one. They're tired of me already, this kind of thought and stuff like that. So sometimes it can mess up your thoughts, your emotions, your mental health. So I think that's one part that's it's not so nice.
I get.
Yeah.
And I feel with the place, like there are times when I go back on an episode. So one thing I've learned to do is just to detach myself. Like when I publish an episode, I think most likely that same day I make a point not to go back and be checking.
Right? I don't do that.
I don't know.
No way.
Later, I can just stumble on it. I'm like, oh, okay, 4 people. Hallelujah.
But the one thing I learned is that I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. It happens to you, but people, I don't know how, but people still go back to listen.
After a while,
yes. You still see the numbers adding up, and I'm like, okay, this is showing something. So I think no matter what, people are still there to listen. Maybe not that moment, but they'll still come around.
I can remember there are some things I just stumbled on randomly online, maybe an episode and an article on an episode or something that they were probably 5 years old, or maybe even YouTube videos, and they found that very useful.
Yes.
So the focus should be on just keep like dropping value and all of
yes.
that. If it's done now, tomorrow people will find it handy and useful for them. That's just the thing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing your challenges and your secrets of the trade with me. It's true now. You know me, I'm relatively a newbie, so I've had like 2 or 3 things I want to go and like check out and also try and adopt to myself.
All right.
So thank you so much for coming and joining your record. Like I feel like I might even like start doing this with other people. Say, we just go and drag all over. Yeah, come and talk about this podcasting.
But I think that should be done regularly. Not really maybe bringing them on a podcast episode, but going into their DMs. Yes. There's some people that are so good at that stuff. So you learn it from them.
Yes, exactly. So thank you so much, Gracie.
Thank you, Esther.
Thanks for coming on the show. You're doing a wonderful work at
Thank
Grow and Glow
you.
Podcast. People, go and listen. I know what I'm saying. Go and check out our podcast. Go and listen. Yeah, and of course, if you enjoyed this and you want more and all, make sure you share with your friends. Make sure you drop your comments. You can shoot me a mail at thevaluecafepod@gmail.com. Of course, on Instagram as the Value Cafe Pod. DMs are open, comment section is open. Check us out on Podroom. You're also on Good Pods, right? So you can engage.
Like, am I on Good Pods?
Yeah.
I can't even remember. I'm on so much, like, I've tried a lot of platforms. I think so.
Alright. For whatever platform you use, just search for her at Grow and Glow Podcast, and also search for me at the Value Cafe Podcast. And you definitely see us there, listen, engage, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye, people.
Yeah.